Man, where is the year going? Holy moly, here it is November. But I'm going to share with you guys what the November greenhouse is doing for us here on the homestead, so stay tuned. Good morning, welcome to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Yep, this is November, and we got some vittles growing in the greenhouse. This has been a real huge, super blessing to be able to get this greenhouse going for our family. Courtesy of Discovery Channel and some material I resourced free from some friends of mine who are contractors trading out windows. So yeah, you check out those videos on the building of the greenhouse and some introductions on starting the greenhouse. I've got a whole bunch of videos, but today I'm going to feature on what's going on this November in our greenhouse at the homestead. First of all, I wanted to point out what my November garden looks like. It's pretty much done for the year. Next year I plan to do a heck of a lot more on my garden. I was really distracted this year from the epic fire when the barn burnt down and then the tedious process of rebuilding the barn. So a lot of my focus and energy went to that, among other things that were happening with the Hansen homestead here and with the Hansen family itself, transitioning into new work, and you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Life happens. So let's go into the greenhouse and I'll show you what we got going on in here. You will be amazed on what my daughter and my grandkids did when they planted in here and some stuff I did. So let's check it out. It's always a surprise when I come in here. I see new vegetables ready to harvest each time I come in here now. This is awesome. Man, the lettuce is just it looks like the spinach is bolted. So I got to pull that up and plant new spinach. And then the lettuce is going like crazy, so I can harvest some more lettuce today. Also, we have our basil, sage, rosemary and thyme up here, and we've got some other plants that I've got to get out and get planted. They seem to be doing okay. But look at these tomatoes! I've got tomatoes growing in November. These are the ones I purchased some time ago and planted them outside. Then when we got the greenhouse cleaned up and redone, and I built this new raised bed, I went ahead and put them in this bucket and spread some mystery seeds in there. And the mystery seeds are showing what they are, which is great, but these tomatoes, I'm really impressed, and the tomatoes are coming in really good. Now these tomatoes, they came in, they're planted in worm castings from my worm bin that's sitting right here in the middle of the greenhouse. And we've got radishes that are harvestable right now. We've got carrots that are still coming in, they're still maturing, which reminds me I need to plant some more carrots and radish to be able to get them ready for the next harvest that's coming up. In addition to the tomatoes growing in this bucket, I also have identified there's a pea growing. And so I'm going to get peas in here. I've got sunflowers growing in here. I've got some other stuff growing in here. I'm not sure exactly what they are. But that is just simply a 5-gallon bucket with polycrop growing in. With polycrop is multiple crops. So that's good indication that people who live urban or live in small spaces, they don't have really a garden area. Just go grab some 5-gallon buckets. You can get them free on Craigslist. Punch some holes in the bottom for drainage. Pack them full of a bag of topsoil or potting soil and throw some seed in there and grow a variety of crops in one bucket. And don't forget to feed them and water them. This tells me it's dry. I need to get some water in here. Let's get some waters on these little plants here. But look at the temperature. It's like 57 degrees in here as opposed to what's outside. It makes it ever so pleasant to come in here and work in the greenhouse this time of year because the temperature is really pleasant. I'm a little excited too because this flower I bought for my wife last year, early last year, it died off, and I just thought I'd salvage the bulb, plant it in here, and see what it did in the greenhouse. And look at that, it's coming in. That's great. I'm excited. We are all enjoying this greenhouse adventure here on the homestead. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this adventure here at the homestead in the greenhouse. Please join me on more adventures. You can watch my videos in my archives, and I post the greenhouse adventures in the homestead gardening series, so you can follow that series and see the evolution of the greenhouse. Join me throughout the season. I've got craft projects I'll be working on as the weather becomes more inclement. It pushes me inside, but I'm a person that can't stand to sit still and do nothing. I also hope I inspired you with bucket gardening and doing polycropping in your buckets when you have just a restricted amount of space to do it in. Whether you live in a high-rise in the city and just have a little deck, you could still have your little gardens, and there's nothing like the feeling of growing your own food, even if it's just a little bit, and then the flavor it has of just homegrown food. It's just nothing compares to it. It just does not compare to it, and there's many of you that will agree. So be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, smash that share button, helps out the channel greatly. What that does is that when you click that little button that's marked share, it gives you the option of sharing it on your other different social media platforms, and that basically advertises our channels or introduces our channels to your viewers on social media, and it helps expand our channel, and it helps us get the word out and let people know of what's going on and how we got here. You can also find us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, Google+, and Blogger. I'm unable to do Snapchat and the other online stuff that requires a cell phone because we don't have a cell phone up here. I don't have one available. We don't get cell signal into this little valley up here. We don't even get a TV signal up here. And I found out I'm actually allergic to cell phones. There's something about a cell phone that actually makes me break out in a rash if there's a cell phone close to any part of my body, and if it's there for any period of time, it causes my bones to ache really bad, and it also causes a rash. And I've tried this, I experimented many times to try to figure out, is it really the cell phone or is it just me? Well, it's both. It's me and it's the cell phone. The cell phone is the instigator of the rashes that my body produces. So until I figure that out and find out how to do Snapchat and those other mediums through my PC or laptop, then I'm sorry I can't be on Snapchat. But do what you can, watch us, and if you can't watch us, I'm sorry you're missing so much, but I love you anyways. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.